Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat with ColorID. I'm your host, Mark Degan. Coffee Chat is an informative video series where we ask our very own ColorID experts questions we've been receiving from our customers. So, without further ado, let's jump in. We've been getting a lot of inquiries and emails from end users in the higher education marketplace regarding end of life, end of support for ID Works. We've sold it for however long it's been around, 20 plus years. And what we're trying to identify today is, what exactly is the logical successor for ID Works when it comes to, a desktop environment and a cloud-based environment. So what are your thoughts on that?
The one product on the market, and this is in ColorID's broad experience, the one product that was designed specifically to do this and based on a cloud platform, if requested, also available on-prem, is Fargo Connect, HID Fargo Connect. Yeah. It is designed to do exactly the same process in the background. It can be integrated and has been integrated with several of the one-card systems, almost all of the large ones on the market right now, and a lot of access control systems. So even if you're using Linnell or Secure or AMAG, Fargo Connect will work the same way, and it's the same process. You open the integrator application interface, you look up your record, you take a picture, you make sure everything's in place, you hit print, and now the print job, instead of going through the Windows print spooler on the machine you're on, because at this point you're in the interface for the application. So either you're in a browser or you're directly in that application, maybe on a client for that application, but that varies. But in either case, as soon as you hit print, the print job is sent over the network to Fargo Connect. And in most cases these days, it's going to be Fargo Connect in the cloud. So it's securely sent to the Fargo Connect cloud. And then from the Fargo Connect cloud, where the templates now reside in the cloud, and you've selected the templates, you've designed them in the cloud application. Now this print job hits the cloud, gets assigned to the right template, and is sent down to the correct console, which is a little tablet-like device to which your printers are plugged into. So as a user, your experience is nearly identical to what you were doing before with ID Works in the integrated environment. You looked them up, you took a picture, changed any data necessary, hit print, boom, card comes out of the printer. It's that simple. But if you go with the cloud version, a typical ColorID implementation takes about a day. Now, however long it takes, you get your hardware on site, you schedule it. If your integrator has to be involved, you have to get on their calendar. Those things can take some time, but once everything's in place, it's quite simple. The software is already running in the cloud. You're merely connecting to that software, and your integrator has already done the integration. They don't have to change a lot of things or do a lot of code writing or development to make this work. So, yeah, go ahead. Question?
And the nice thing with Fargo Connect is the number of different printer models that you would have to select. You're not just, looking at a model and saying, this is what you have. You could do direct-to-card, you could do reverse transfer models, and there's multiple models of each of those. So that's, you can really, and you can mix and match too. Maybe you don't need a high definition printer for your entire fleet of printers. Maybe you just need one, and the rest can be direct-to-card printers. You could totally do that with Fargo Connect.
Right. Now, it's worth pointing out that you will need an HID printer, and this is the good news is the console, the device that sits next to up to 3 printers, supporting those 3 printers. The driver sits on the console for those printers, and the console is not a Windows machine. So for those of you who have had trouble with drivers, I know we've all been. I was just last week on site rooting with an IT guy through Device Manager and looking for the printer, removing duplicate printers and installing a new driver. And it took a couple of hours to get things right.
And how many times have people come into the office to find that a Windows update dropped and their system updated, and now things aren't working because of that? Because your PC, it's not going to happen with the console.
No, the console is a dedicated HID device. It does support HID printers. It will read any HID contactless card in that printer and many others and write to them. So you have full support for HID. But like Mark said, it goes all the way from the simpler direct to
Hmm.
card printers all the way up through the HDP 600, HID's latest high tech reverse
Hmm.
transfer printer. So you have a choice of 5 or 6 printers in a range there.
Right. And the last thing to talk about HFC is, we've done a lot of installations, for higher education institutions with Fargo Connect, and not a single end user has stopped using the solution over the past, what has it been, 3-4 years that Fargo Connect's been out there. You just don't hear that often. I mean, how many other times have we been working with other solutions? A year goes by and they say, you know what? This isn't what we were expecting. This isn't intuitive. This isn't helping us. And they pull the plug. We've never had that with this product. So that's a huge testimonial right there.
Yeah, no, exactly. It is designed. It's designed well. It's designed to do exactly this. It's a
Mm-hmm.
printer, card printing support microservice, and it's designed to run in the cloud, and it gets updated regularly in the cloud, and it works really well.
Right.
And the team at HID that builds and supports Fargo Connect is really dedicated to keeping this product updated. I I was thinking this through recently. ID Works, as solid as it was, and as well as everybody used it for
Oh, yeah.
all those years, its last update was 2007. So nobody saw a new feature or improvement. It
Yeah.
continued to work.
Mm-hmm.
The manufacturer made sure that it continued to work, but there were no features, updates, upgrades, interface, nothing. Nothing changed since 2007 in terms of using it every day. Now, and many of you that have new people coming into your card office, they're opening up ID Works and they're going, and I talk to them and they say, we have some really old software here. We got to get something new. And the veterans are going, well, yeah, but it works. But
Mm-hmm.
people are, we all know old software when we see it.
Yep.
And so that particular manufacturer was not committed to an upgrade path and,
Yeah.
and updating. Fargo Connect has continued to release 1 or 2 major updates every year. And it's not, if you have the cloud version, it just happens.
Mm.
It just gets updated. So very, very strong team. Product works well. It's very reliable.
Very
And the
cool.
integrations are well supported too.
So then if we go back to the beginning and we say, what's the logical successor for ID Works for desktop? What do you say for desktop then?
There are a number of desktop software products that work exactly like that. Now, they've been maintained and updated, and they have more modern interfaces. They're easier to work with. It just depends on what you want to do. If our first preference is a desktop product from a company called Card Exchange, the producer, and it's available in a variety of versions. They are all quite reasonably priced, and there is a very interesting network-like approach available for producer in that you can have a license manager set up on a PC or server which distributes licenses for concurrent users from a central location, and it stores all the templates centrally. So if you have 5 people at various workstations, you can have unlimited workstations. You can have up to 5 users, say on 5 licenses, for example. They can log in from any of those workstations. They have access to all the templates to which they've been given permission on the central license manager server, and the licenses are managed centrally. So no USB key, and there's no license key locking the software to a particular PC. So, if you're using the license manager and your PC goes down or you upgrade it, no problem. You just, you log into through that license manager server. It's very powerful. It does a lot of encoding. Both MyFair and DeskFire can read other kinds of cards in the printer, and it supports pretty much any printer on the planet. So Card Exchange, they only make software. They don't make printers. So they don't care. They're interested in supporting as many printers as possible. So Card Exchange Producer, very nice desktop option for you. If you are working with HID cards, especially CIOS, Desfire with HID encoding, and you either want to read those cards in line in the printer, or you want to um, encode those cards with, let's say you want to write your ISO number, as many of our institutions do, you want to write your ISO number to your CIOS card. Well, AssureID is an HID software desktop, and it will do that. And it supports HID printers, and it does it very well. It's very powerful for reading and encoding, not just HID, but certainly if you have HID cards, it's a great option. Occasionally we get a request for somebody who has a Mac environment, and they're just Mac people. It's all Apple all the time. We have CardPresso, another desktop software, runs on Mac, and it also supports a variety of printers. So there are a lot of options here for desktop software, if you want to go in that direction. And within each of those products, there are a range of versions, and they can be very inexpensive if you have a very simple database and requirements, up to something like AssureID Exchange, which is more expensive because now you've purchased the licensing to read and encode HID cards. Not still desktop based software pricing. It is its own animal. Now, when you start getting up to 10 or 15 licenses, maybe at that point you want to look at cloud, because now the scale of cloud starts to make sense. But if you have 2 to 5 licenses, you had desktop, you want to continue with desktop, there are a number of products that will do a very nice job for you.
Outstanding. That's cool. Well, that's it. Those are my question for you today. We'll do some more of these little short questions here in the near future. But thanks for the time, Dave.
Cool, Mark. Thanks a lot.